Lads and lassies, welcome back to the YouTube and welcome to Spain here at Lunar Wake Park. Now, today what we're going to learn is how to hit a big kicker. So Lunar Wake Park's actually quite an advanced cable. If you're kind of beginner to intermediate, you're going to find it quite challenging. And Tim, who's behind the camera, came and he'd be used to hitting kind of small kickers, and then he got to this kicker and it was absolutely gigantic. And it was quite interesting, the learning that he undertook or underwent to kind of get the big kicker, to get the line tension right, and to make sure that the landings weren't too heavy. So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to do that. So really the approach, how much of a jump or pop you have to do off the kicker, and then of course the landing. So hopefully you enjoy it, hopefully you can learn something from it. And if you do like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment below and subscribe. Now let's get into how to do it. So the biggest part of this is it all starts from your approach or the edge towards the wake. It's not a woke, go again. So the most important thing, and like a lot of tricks, it all begins with your approach, your edge towards the kicker. So I'm going to show you three different versions. The first is where I take a really slow edge at it and I'm kind of waiting for the kicker out there, and then I get pulled back into the cable. The second, then I'm going to cut really late and really hard. And then the third is just perfect. So the version where I'm cutting out quite early, holding my edge for quite a while out there, and then jumping quite high off the kicker, that version's really inefficient and it's actually quite tough on the body. So what's happening is you're holding your edge out there, which in itself is quite tiring. Then when you get to the kicker, you're having to jump quite high, demanding quite a lot out of your legs, and then the cable's pulling you in. But most importantly, it's giving you a really heavy landing. Now, the way I'm going to describe this is, when you're flying on an airplane, if the plane was to just go out of the sky and just drop out, it would be such a heavy landing. So planes land with speed. So the concept is, if you cut with a bit of speed at the kicker, but don't jump as high, you'll get the same amount of time in the air, but number one, you get better line tension, and number two, you get softer landings. So then you go almost to the other extreme and you cut really late, really hard, and you'll see in this one, because I'm not popping, I get this really weird line tension and I don't really have proper control, and I almost have a little bit too much speed. So the perfect answer is a little bit between the two. So basically what you want to do is, when you come around the corner or whatever it is, you want to center yourself underneath the cable, and then you want to take a really consistent edge towards the kicker. You're not going too heavy, you're not going too lightly, you're just kind of edging consistent. And I always try and aim for the top right hand corner of the kicker. That's if it's on right foot forward heel side. So I aim towards that top corner, keep a consistent edge right at the kicker. You want to flatten off. And then in terms of pop, that's completely up to you, but I try not to over exaggerate the jump to go really, really high, but I also try not just to ride over it and absorb it. That kind of then means that you have a smooth landing, and it just helps quite a lot. Big kickers exaggerate big problems, and it's the same with wakes sometimes. So as great as it is having a massive kicker to be able to do all these wild tricks, if you haven't got the fundamentals, your approach, your takeoff and your landing correct, you're going to see these problems come on bigger kickers, and it's the same on the wakes. So when this was happening, I just thought I'd make a short little video for you guys to kind of see it. Hopefully it all makes sense, hopefully you can learn from it. Now we've got a few more days filming here, so if you have any suggestions for tutorials that you'd like to see, please let us know. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the video, hope you've learned something from it, and we'll see you in the next one.